everyone. I know you are ready to get the show on the road, so I'm Chandana Prabhudev. I'll be your host this evening. I want to call on Dr. Uma Jonnalagadda, who is to be the First Lady of Art and the Secretary of GAPI, to introduce our Consulate General of Atlanta, Dr. Swati Kulkarni.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Uma Jonnalagadda, First Lady of the API. I'm going to introduce Honorable Dr. Swati Vijay Kulkarni. She's a career diplomat who holds MBBS from Government Medical College, Nagpur in India. She joined the Indian Foreign Service in 1995. Prior to her appointment as a Consul General of India, Atlanta, she served as a Regional Passport Officer, Mumbai, Maharashtra, 2014 to 2018. Consulate General in CGI in Cape Town, South Africa, 2012 to 2014. Deputy Head of Mission in Muscat, Oman, 2008 to 2012. Dr. Kulkarni previous overseas assignments were First Secretary in High Commission of India, London, 2005 to 2008, where she successfully worked as a nodal officer for preventing discrimination for Indian medical graduates. After the implementation of the new immigration rules, she served several positions. Her interests include study of developmental issues, swimming, and tennis. Let's put our hands together and welcome Honorable Consulate General, Dr. Swati Kulkarni.
My warm greetings to all of you. This is one of my in-person, you can say, a gathering. Dr. Srini told me it's 20, and I'm sure it's beyond that. So, but that's fine. I told him that we Indians cannot be doing such a small scale at all. So, I'm happy that after so long, I'm meeting so many. And that too, which is close to my heart. Being a doctor, always you have that soft corner for doctors. So when they are calling you, you just can't say no, you know. So I'm here to share my thoughts. You know, always government tells us that whenever we go and meet, we have to cover certain points, okay. My Consul General in Chicago has covered already, and I was getting some murmurs, oh my God, how much, you know, so much, this much. So I don't want to go and cover that much, but I'll just go you a little sort of fast track, what we call in Mumbai, the Dombivli fast local that goes from one station to another. So I will cover very, very fast certain points. As you all of know, the COVID crisis is a huge, huge crisis. It affected the health of everybody. So it's a crisis on health front, also the crisis on political, cultural, economic, and social front. This crisis has changed everything, including the common understanding of well-being that we took so much for granted. We have seen lockdowns, we have seen social distancing, we have seen tragic loss of life, and I just saw the slides and so many front, you know, workers. I wasn't aware these many we have lost as far as doctors are concerned. So this has affected the lifestyle, it has confronted the whole humanity. So it has affected the businesses, it has affected the economies. We have seen supply demand shocks. We have seen disruption of supply chains. But one thing has not changed. And that one thing was the last slide. We saw that lady, and that is we the people, an indomitable spirit and a stubborn hope. It hasn't changed. In India, as far as lockdown was concerned, our Prime Minister, he acted very proactively and there was a coordinated response. We have seen during the lockdown how we ramped up our medical infrastructure. And the most important thing which I want to highlight is the, you know, PPE. We were doing 0 PPE in India, and today we are doing 56 times. So 600 companies are doing, and that's how the India is, how dramatically we can give our response to certain challenges. And that is a tribute to all our people. We have laboratories. which 900 plus laboratories which have done 6.1 million samples testing. So we are doing 150,000 testing per day, and the 75% kits are developed in India. So that's how India has come up in recent times. We do have other factors where grassroots workers like Asha, they do the contact tracing. We have Arogya Setu, which do contact tracing in urban areas. We have Ayushman Bharat for 500 million people. So our death rate is less and recovery rate is so high, it is much beyond 50%, and in some cities it is much beyond 75%. And we feel and hope that it will give us herd immunity very, very quickly before the vaccine can come. Our government, the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, in consultation with all stakeholders, they have given us stimulus package which is 10% of GDP. So the first experiment which helped us, the Jan Dhan Yojana, that is banking for all, which gave banking for 390 million people. Aadhaar, the unique biometric account, and mobile. So government could send money at a click of button to the people who required it most. So our stimulus package is very, very targeted, very, very smart for the most poor who required the most help. And that's how the JAM Trinity helped us in delivering this at a very, very fast pace, what we call immediately, quickly, at a click of button. So that's the innovation which we have seen during last 4 years and which have given us the fruits the way we have seen in this crisis. Then there were other packages, like we have this stimulus package which does have the 80 million families have got cooking gas, then the beneficiaries, 800 million vulnerable people have got free rations and things like that. But the reforms have been done in our economy in such a way that we give more impetus to our economy, mostly in MSME sector, because our MSME sector is the most important sector which gives employment to 100 million plus people, and it contributes 29% of GDP to our economy. So their government is focusing on manufacturing, and most importantly, our Prime Minister have given a rallying cry for self-reliant India. Self-reliant India is not an inward-looking thing, but a self-sustaining and self-generating. So that's why we are focusing on self-reliant India. And you must have seen that Prime Minister just on 9th July, he addressed the India Global Week in London. And the most important point that he highlighted was the talent force of India. That our doctors, our bankers, our nurses, our lawyers, that's our strength. And they are the ones who are doing the global revival, and they are the ones who are giving us two-way synergy, that is in their wherever country they are and the homeland, for revival. And that is very, very beneficial for both in that respect country, the adopted land and the homeland. And as far as the India-US relationship is concerned, we are having a very robust partnership on developing COVID vaccine. And this is being done by Serum Institute of India in collaboration with the US authorities, and that's happening in New York University. It's also happening in Pittsburgh University, and also the Bharat Biotech in Hyderabad. They are doing collaboration with the US institutes in Philadelphia and also in I think in Wisconsin again. So this is how the collaboration is coming up, and we do hope that the vaccine will come up in India. And you already know that rotavirus has come up with our collaboration with US. And we are also developing vaccines, chikungunya, TB and influenza. They are in a clinical stage. So the collaboration between CDC, NIH and ICMR in Delhi, it's really robust and is in the place of diagnostic and curative aspects of the health. As far as the first responders here were concerned, you guys were at the forefront. API has done really, really well. I have seen in your annual report how many prescriptions and things you have given. We are really proud of you. We applaud your efforts. You have worked with the local communities and governments. We are aware of that. Only one thing, the government message I want to give here, become politically active. Do some political pact with API, which is really important. Because when I met Dr. Rich McCormick in my office last week, first thing he told me, how your doctors are positive, how they are at forefront, how they are knowledgeable, how much hard work they do. And that's what we like to hear. Because I told him that Indian community is always peace-loving, always hard-working, and most importantly, law-abiding. So we do have, not expectation as such, but it is good for you to become politically active so that you can decide policy where you stay. You vote, you participate. So this year is going to be very, very important for us. We have lined up certain, events with various political leaders. We are working very hard. Just last 2 weeks before, I met with Honorable Congressman Buddy Carter. He has given a very good statement for India. Before that, Honorable Congressman Joe Wilson. Now we are working, of course, the Rob Woodall also was there, always supporting us. We are working with Dr. Rich McCormick, also with Lucy Macbeth, Congresswoman Karen Handel, who will be, before she was there, now again she is fighting. So all these efforts, we want your involvement. We want your active participation. That's what I was sharing with Dr. Parekh and other doctors, Dr. Raghu and everybody. So be active, do think about certain, the politically active activities which can help you in long run. Now, I know that you people have helped us in Howdy Modi also. I do remember that Dr. Srini and Dr. Sudhakar, they have helped me with the Howdy Modi. At Howdy Modi, you have seen how it was the celebration of Indian community's achievements. It was basically the celebration of those achievements, how they have done so well in USA. And again, the Namaste Ahmedabad, which happened in Ahmedabad, of course, in India when President Trump went there. So both these events have brought the people-to-people contacts at the central, central focus is there on these contacts. So Dr. Sudhakar, I remember you were telling me, yes, in Howdy Modi, we couldn't get time with Prime Minister and all that. But somehow some redemption was to me when last week, I think Prime Minister addressed you. So I was very, very happy that he did that. And now you are very close. You have also got a message from Honorable President. That is also a positive development. See, that is how you will have to become a little, you are there already, but a little, that rule they say 80% is there, the last mile is to go. That's all. So I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Sudhakar, and he gave me his huge biodata. I said, please tell me what I have to talk. So he sent me a small snippet. I have memorized it. I have lost something, then do let me know. So Dr. Sudhakar, he is born in Guntur in Andhra Pradesh. Am I right? Very good. So he got his training in Vienna, and then he moved to USA and completed his training. He is authority in gastroenterology and liver transplant. We are proud of you. And he also has served in GAPI in the board of director as a regional director. And now please welcome Dr. Sudhakar as 37th President of API.
Sudhakar Jannalagada was born in Guntur in the state of Andhra Pradesh. After his primary schooling and college, he completed medical education at Rangaraya Medical College. Subsequently, he worked as a medical officer in Nigeria, West Africa. Following this, he obtained further education in Vienna, achieving a surgical diploma. In 1987, Sudhakar moved to the United States. He completed internal medicine residency in Pittsburgh, followed by liver fellowship in Miami, and gastroenterology fellowship at the Medical College of Georgia. He then returned to Pittsburgh for liver transplant fellowship. He has been married to Uma for 27 years. They have one son, Vareen, who is in medical school. His journey with API began as president of the Georgia Association of Physicians of Indian Heritage, followed by API Regional Director of the South. He has been fortunate to work with and become friends with many in API leadership. It is my great honor to introduce you to my friend, the 37th President of API, Dr. Sudhakar Jonnalagada.
Excuse me, madam.
Dr. Swati Kulkarni, could you come up on the podium and we'll do the lighting?
Excuse me, madam.
Welcome and good evening. It is my distinct honor and privilege to be the 37th President of AAPI, the American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, representing probably at this time 200,000 physicians. I think we had to change the dialogue. 100,000, now we say 200,000 fellows and academicians of Indian origin. I am Sudhakar Jonnalagada. I practice gastroenterology and transplant hepatology in Douglas, Georgia. I am humbled to serve API to contribute in shaping the healthcare in the United States. Regretfully, we can't meet in person, but joined today by outstanding API Executive Committee team of Dr. Anupama Gautamukula, our President-elect and Vice President Dr. Ravi Kohli, and Secretary Dr. Amit Chakravarti, and Treasurer Dr. Satish Kotula, and Sajani Shah, the second generation, first time happened, chair of API Board of Trustees, and Amit the YPS and MRCP presidents. API given so much, networking, advocacy, and education. I am deeply committed to serve this noble organization, working for you, the members. API will respond to its members, and for fulfilling our mission, we will continue to focus on advocacy, the active participation of young physicians, and increasing membership. This year, we will work with make API stronger and more vibrant and united. I say united. To accomplish this, we will bring all the API chapters, regions, members of executive committee, and board of trustees to work together toward the common goal of successful API. As API president, I have identified 5 goals to better accomplish API mission. First of all, to increase the API membership by offering more benefits, opportunities of members, knowing that API growth lies with the younger generation. This is my top priority to support and promote YPS, MSR because they are the future of API. Toward this end, we must work with children of API members who are interested in medical school to provide education on choosing the right school and gaining acceptance further. We will work with medical students, residents who are potential API members to educate on their contract negotiations and patient communication and practice management. Young physicians in Indian origin provide hope, vibrancy, and for the future of API and healthcare generally in the United States. As you are aware, Indian Americans continue to enter in this noble profession in large numbers. We will be entrusting the future of health care to them. You will be excited to know that we are launching a clinical observership program for aspiring young physicians under the leadership of Dr. Anurag Talwar and Vandana Agarwal, which is going to happen. Under API guidance, medical students and youth interested in medicine will taught skills for participating in interview and the way to succeed in school and residency training. It really benefits for the foreign medical graduates because they need exposure to our American way of treating patients and bedside manners. Second, we will focus on advocacy, which is crucial to our success so far. We will continue to press our legislative priorities in the US and abroad. API growing cloud is seen everywhere as physicians of Indian origin hold critical positions in all sectors, including academics, research, and the government. Yet there is much more to do. For example, we must work to increase the number of available residency positions in US hospitals, and regard to the immigration, ensure that legal permanent residency available for all Indian American physicians currently on temporary visas. Third, we will identify and invest the delivery of the cost-effective and advanced medical care in India. You may well know that API does a lot of work in India. We are greatly looking forward for a global healthcare summit in 2021 in Visakhapatnam under the leadership chairman of Dr. Prasad Chalasani. There we are going to launch liver disease awareness program. You all know that hepatitis B very predominant in India. I lost my brother-in-law because of hepatitis B, because of the treatment. The education is very important. I discussed with the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh and Health Minister. We are going to implement during the time of Global Healthcare Summit about the liver disease awareness in India as well as in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana states. Together, we anticipate impact in India and United States by supporting charitable activities in both countries. We will expand our efforts of API and charitable foundation programs in India under the able leadership of Dr. Surendra Purohit, the chairman of API Charitable Foundation. And fourth, we will build on our goal of promoting diversity with our leadership. I am proud at point 1/2 of the chairs in the standing committees of governing body are qualified, competent women. So you can understand woman power is very important in API. API is the world leader in diversity in medicine. We will strive for equality in healthcare delivery globally. Fifth, API financial solvency is crucial. I am sure we have that endowment fund. I am going to work with my President-elect, Dr. Arun Kumar Godumukkala, and my officers and my executive committee to improve the fund of endowment to help for the future president. One of my key responsibilities is fundraising, and I committed to strengthen the API through strong fundraising activities. And finally, due to the COVID-19, you all know that we did more than 50 webinars under the leadership of Dr. Suresh Reddy. We will continue to do that, and because we learned a lot of technology utilizing during this COVID conferences. In this light, we organize monthly online webinars offering the first time in the RP, we're offering 20 CME credits with Dr. Vemur Murthy, the chair for this program. We'll also provide as a membership benefit. This is the first time we're offering the membership benefit for RP members, regular motivation lectures for the physicians to combat rising the physician burnout. The COVID-19 pandemic has imposed inordinate challenges on all of us. However, despite this hardship, we adapt and will survive. Perhaps there has never been a greater need for us as physicians, as members of RP, and for our crucial mission. We share the agony of those among us who have personally suffered from this scourge, and we extend our sympathy to families that have lost their dear ones, as well as our prayers for those still fighting for the disease for rapid and full recovery. As we look forward to the future together, I hope that we'll make plans to join us for a fabulous RP Convention Orlando in July 2021. I'm looking forward to welcome you all in person to Florida next year. I'm sure you'll love to see Mickey and Harry Potter. And Dr. Atul Madan is the chair of the convention. I'm sure he will take good care of you with Southern hospitality after Atlanta. Unfortunately, we lost Chicago because of the COVID. For the sake of our future, now more than ever, we must fully analyze RP PAC. Dr. Kulkarni just mentioned about the PAC. I'm sure I'm going to do that. I'm going to establish PAC, more energize this PAC. We already established, but I'm going to energize this PAC. We're proud of our shared heritage, motherland, and American home. Thank you again, and God bless your great countries, America and India. Jai Hind.
No senior, junior here.
Mehar Madhavaram, Sumul Rawal, Dr. Bhushan Pandya, Dr. Dinesh Gandhi, and Hemant Vallapreddy, and Himanshu Pandya. I'm sure I have a great team. I'm sure we're looking forward for a great year. Thank you. God bless you all.
Congratulations, President. Thank you. Good job.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Sudhakar would like to invite all the GAPI, API leaders to come on the stage to cut the cake for as a first cake as the API president. Sudhakar Janalagada.
one more cake coming for the birthday of Uma Jonnalagada. Happy birthday.
And Parmesh Aramali, who opened their home, the backyard, riverfront resort for all of us to enjoy this evening. Thank you. I'm going to give it to Raghu to say a few words, the BOT, first year BOT.
Good evening, everybody. And first of all, I thank Shyamala and Parmesh for letting us to have a great evening today. And my hearty congratulations to my friend Sudhakar, the great, energetic, enthusiastic, great personality, great Sudhakar Jonnalagada. And he will lead our RP in a great new horizons. I can promise that. I have confidence on him. He can do that. And he's a very sincere, very hardworking person, and with a great vision of RP. And he'll do great, and RP will be, he's already on a good hands, and we'll see great things for RP. And I take 1 minute for thank everybody for electing me as a BOT. And thank everybody. Only one thing I want to say, I want to take because it's already late. So I want to say one thing. Our BOTs, from now, we don't want to limit ourselves to just simple things, small things like protecting our funds and all that stuff. We want to take we want to take new challenges for the RP, and we want as a group, I want to invite all our BOTs, fellow BOTs and friends, we will take new challenges and great things to do as equal as executive committee they do that. This is our new agenda, and thank you very much again.
I want to thank Shyamala for the outstanding hospitality. Parmesh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And we're really honored to have you here. Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, what's the weather forecast today? It's raining presidents. One president. Where's Naresh? Second president. Gautam Samadar, third president. Here on the stage there are 3 other presidents. Right? My God, it's raining presidents today. Any more here? If I missed. Good. Welcome. From the great state of Tennessee. Sudhakar Kaza, whom I knew for 25 years. Sunil, how did I say that? Sunil Kaza. Malti Mehta, who came all the way from North Carolina, Charlotte. We are really humbled that you traveled all this way. All you folks came here. Sudhakar, you're a giant among men. See the number of folks who are showing up for you from out of state. In these days, I think it says a lot about you and your relationships. Thank you again for giving us this opportunity to host this event. It is not just memorable to you, it's memorable to us too. Thank you very much.
Just wanted to thank you very much, guys. We have got a great musical program after this, so stick around. And Parmesh, as I always told you, he's a hero. He's an ex-Air Force pilot, guys. Come on. This is amazing, amazing. I mean, he's a hero for me, you know. And Shyamala very graciously accepted my, suggestion of opening the backyard, and we had a wonderful time. So thank you very much for selecting me or electing me as a RP secretary, and I really am indebted to you because Georgia is my second home. I mean, Alabama, anytime there was any Georgia function, I was here, and thank you for embracing me as one of you. And thank you very much. We've got a long way to go. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Now you know me. I don't need to introduce myself. I want to congratulate Sudhakar and Uma both together. Without her help, I don't think it's possible for him. The women power, right? Yeah. I know. I'm repeating it. I'm, echoing this. And thank you very much for giving this opportunity to host this. It's our privilege. And thank you, Srini and Raghu and Sudhakar, Uma.
పిల్లడాండ దగ్గరై నన్ను చేరదీస్తివే బుట్టబొమ్మ బుట్టబొమ్మ నన్ను చుట్టుకుంటివే జిందగీకే అడ్డబొమ్మై జంట కట్టుకుంటివే బుట్టబొమ్మ బుట్టబొమ్మ నన్ను చుట్టుకుంటివే జిందగీకే అడ్డబొమ్మై జంట కట్టుకుంటివే అండ దగ్గరై నన్ను చేరదీస్తివే బుట్టబొమ్మ బుట్టబొమ్మ నన్ను చుట్టుకుంటివే జిందగీకే అడ్డబొమ్మై జంట కట్టుకుంటివే బుట్టబొమ్మ బుట్టబొమ్మ నన్ను చుట్టుకుంటివే జిందగీకే అడ్డబొమ్మై జంట కట్టుకుంటివే
मैं यहाँ